Hey, welcome to Couch Co-op. I'm Chris.
And I'm Olivia.
This is the podcast where we really just get our friends together and shoot the shit. There is absolutely no reason for the show to exist.
Absolutely none. So today...
It's fun.
Yep.
Is there any reason for any show to exist, though?
I mean, Cool Cat.
It's a movie.
Yeah, that's a series of movies.
Yeah.
And that's teaching kids about anti-bullying, so it does have a purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, do you guys mind introducing who you are and what you do?
Well, I'm Matt of Matt Presents on YouTube. I talk about a lot of movies, really, but mostly bad movies or really weird movies.
A man of taste, I see.
I'm Makal from Movie, and my YouTube account is either MakalShadakal or MovieMakal. And I don't know, me and Matt are kind of on similar pages to some extent where there is a lot of movie talk of mine, although I would say mine is like the main series of my channel is more so like a Rift series, Makal and Zach, which honestly, all three of you have been on quite a lot. And we do video games on it too. And yeah, they're just highly edited highlight reels, but I have fun with them. I have been doing like little animations with them now too.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't think I've talked about a single video game
Oh,
on
shit.
my channel.
Really?
To be fair, I don't play a lot of games.
I didn't, and I started again this year, and Stuart and Chris played their hands in that for sure.
Damn straight.
One does not know Chris without being dragged into the world of video games.
I played a lot of them when I was a kid, and then I just kind of stopped, focused entirely like on television and movies without playing any games. But I'd say this year I've watched significantly less movies and television because I threw games into. And it's been fun. They're good. I did Amori recently, which was great. And now I'm doing Bug Fables, which I really like.
Oh, Bug Fables is dope. Do you mind explaining what the hell Amori is? Because I've heard you talk about it a lot.
It's just an RPG. Like, it's a turn-based game, and it's a psychological horror. It's very cutesy, but it's also terrifying, and I mean, it's not really terrifying in the sense where it's like it's gonna keep you up at night, like, because it really scared you. It's just like it'll keep you up at night because now you're thinking about life. So like, it's that kind of horror. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like I said, psychological horror. It'll make you think about it'll make you feel things that you don't necessarily want to feel, but it's a very meaningful experience, I would say. Just go in ready for that. I don't even want to say people say like don't play this if you're not well mentally. I feel like most people who check that stuff out are normally not well mentally.
So it's kind of like a Tommy Wiseau film.
A Tommy Wiseau film?
Yes.
How many films has he made? One?
Well, he also made a short film.
He made a show.
And that TV show.
The only reason why I say that is because you say the only people that don't like it the only people that like it are mentally ill. So
I feel like a lot of people who actually want to check it out are the people who like seek stuff like that out, and it's because they connect with it because they're going through something. I don't know. That just seems to be the case of a lot of people. But I don't know.
To be fair here, I'm not trying to shit on your game. Just,
I don't think I didn't take it that way.
Okay.
So what's the topic today? What's the topic of the day, Chris?
So I it's funny. It's something I wanted to talk about for a minute, which was what are they, like, collabs, reanimations? Is that what it was, really?
Yeah, the reanimation.
Yeah,
series.
they're apparently doing a Toy Story 2 one on Newgrounds. Right?
Really?
Yeah. And
damn.
I have just been obsessed with reanimations lately.
No, those are great.
Because
let me look that up, actually.
Yeah, it's reanimations are really fucking interesting to me. No, I fucking love them.
Yeah, though they're really cool. Toy Story reanimated. My part of Toy Story 2 reanimated. That's a big feature. I wonder if this is how serious this one is. I'm like, because I don't want to. I'm not going to name one just because I don't want to discourage anyone right now. But there's one being made on an animated film. It's kind of like going in with the same intentions as Shrek Retold, where it's like animation and live action. And the trailer they released, every single clip looked like a shitpost entry. Where Shrek Retold, it's a mix of genuinely good and shitpost. The trailer was nothing but shitpost. It's like, okay, you didn't get a single person who actually is trying. It's not that it's like bad. It's not that it's like just bad art. It's like legitimately just people not putting an effort in. Like they're like, oh, I'm going to make the shitpost entry. I'm going to make the really silly one. And it's like you can't all be that. You have to have some that are actually good too. But from what I'm looking at the Toy Story 2 one, some of these shots do look very nice.
No, they really do. I'm going to have to ask you what, after we get off the podcast, I'm going to have to ask you what Reanimated you're talking about, because I'm dying of curiosity.
It's another feature length one, though.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
And it's being done on one of my favorite animated films, but that's all I'll say. I'm wishing the project well. Maybe they had a rough start, but maybe I haven't looked it up in a while. Maybe they've gotten some good entries since then.
Oh boy, Mary and Max Reanimated.
Ooh, yeah. Spicy.
I distinctly remember a live action Toy Story going up on YouTube.
Really?
Oh my god!
Was that
really?
a thing?
Yeah, someone like recreated the whole movie with like real toys.
Was it good?
Wow.
I watched like the first 10 minutes of it. And I was like, wow, this is really well made, but also this is just Toy Story, so I don't care.
Yeah, no, like...
That's impressive.
The thing that I like about Reanimated, and the thing that makes me obsessed, is how much effort some people put into it. Like, yeah, there's the shitpost ones, mind you. Mm-hmm. But some of the art, especially the conflicting art, is what, has got me obsessed with it.
Well, it's like something. It's always they always are so eclectic, but they can't help but be interesting because of that eclecticness, and then just everyone's individual interpretations of the scene and whatnot. It's whether they're being serious or silly. It's always great to watch.
Yeah, for sure. I like shitpost entries in some place. What like Shrek Retold, what I loved about that one so much is I remember there's this one part where you get 3 scenes that are genuinely really well animated. It's like right after the fight scene at the castle of Lord Farquaad, and you kind of have them adventure into the one castle Fiona's in. There's like 3 scenes in a row with just great animation. Like the people who did them did a really nice job. They each have their own distinct style, and then it cuts to a live action shot of a person who painted his body green and a person walking on all fours. Oh my God. It's just like really, it's like a huge downgrade, but it's such a downgrade that it's funny. It's really funny. And it's also another important factor when making these is having like a really good editor, and the person who edits all the videos for 3GI, I think Grant is his name. He's just such a good editor, and he blends all of the footage so well together.
So
that's
so
amazing.
it works really well. The timing's always really good on the cuts.
So I have continue.
Sorry.
No, continue. It's all good.
I know I'm gushing about it, but yeah, I'm completely cool with the sillier entries. And I also like it when it's like really showing the filmmaker's personality off. But I do feel with a lot of the ones I see, and again, I'm not going to name any of them specifically, but I have seen people try to like go into the reanimate scene where they're just making something that's like, oh, I'm going to Photoshop, I'm going to make this Sonic the Hedgehog character purple and throw him in the shot and like have the PNG move around on the screen. It's a meme. It's like you want to be part of the collab without putting effort in. That's where I get annoyed. You have to try. You have to at least try. You can make a shitpost entry, but have like a little bit of effort in it.
So actually, this is really cool. We didn't plan on having 2 people that do movie things on this.
Yeah,
at the time,
quite serendipitous.
With this question, I'm sorry, I'm on 2 drinks and I'm a lightweight, so
it's all good.
So the question that comes down to it is with us talking about collaborations and reanimations. Olivia had an idea. I think I talked to you about it, and it's where Olivia had an idea of a Fantasia done in a similar way. Do you guys think that is possible?
So I remember what you guys described with this. It's not so much doing a reanimation of Fantasia, but making a new Fantasia, like in the collaboration form where everyone would like basically animate their own small segment, or maybe multiple people would animate that segment, but it's like making your own animation to music video.
Yeah, I just like thinking about it now, I'm sitting here like, wow, that would be hard as hell to orchestrate, you know?
Yeah. With very talented people, I think that would be an amazing idea, but
leaving it to the fates of the internet, that just kind of it sounds kind of scary now that I'm sitting here thinking about it. You know?
It would be good to have a project that you could show off first to make, because you could get talented enough people on board, but they need to trust the project and the project runner of it. So you have to have like something first. One thing that the guy who made Shrek, I'm going to bring up Shrek Retold a lot, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
The guy who made Shrek Retold, what he mentioned is that he tried to do the project years ago and no one took it seriously. And then he had Shrek Fest, because he also runs that. And that was like this big thing he had under his name. And that's when he was able to get enough people on board to make the movie, because he had like this connection to something else. So I feel like that would be, you would just like, I think it's a great idea. I think it can't be a first project though, you know?
Oh, definitely not. I think like what I'd have to do for it is I think like, as I'm sitting, I think I'd have to like try to get a bunch of people to make a reanimated segment from Fantasia to get the idea out there, and then like get like big scary Disney to be like, okay.
What?
You know?
It's all like public domain classical music, right?
Well, that's the beauty of it. That's why I was like, hey, that could be done, because then no one could come and slam down on anybody for copyright, you know?
Yeah.
Which one would you, if you had to remake any scene from Fantasia or Fantasia 2000, which one would you go for?
Christ on a bike. I would probably, I don't know, like, it's been a long time since I've seen Fantasia. I feel like the most iconic one to do would be The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah.
But my heart would want to do A Night on, is it Death Mountain or Black Mountain? Bald Mountain. Because that would be, I'd love to see what people do with that one. But I think that one's really long, so that one would be kind of difficult to orchestrate, I think.
Rhapsody in Blue would be dope.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
my
that was
favorite.
a really good one, too, yeah.
That's my favorite one.
Oh, my God. Is that from Fantasia 2000?
2000, yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, that's my, I love that one. That one's a good one.
I also think that, I think in terms of change in art styles, this is not even close to my favorite one, but the whole Nutcracker suite that they did in the first one, that one would kind of leave a lot of opportunity for art style changes just because of how abstract it is.
That's very good.
You could like have, there's like a lot of different looking characters in that, I guess so that one wouldn't be too bad.
That one would encourage creativity.
Disney themselves remade Sorcerer's Apprentice with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, wow, really? I did not hear...
Yeah, I told you about the live action one.
You did, I'm sorry.
We actually, stupid Smash Bros. Note, yeah, that's what Tyler referenced when he brought back Mario, is he was referencing, the Sorcerer's Apprentice. He actually really liked that movie.
Oh, but you're gonna have to give me a whole... Oh, that movie!
You had a war flashback, my guy.
I haven't seen it.
It's not good. It's not good.
I only seen the Nostalgia Critic thing on it. But
Nostalgia Critic did a thing on it?
Yeah, like...
Did he?
Like, I think so.
That sounds reasonable, but I never watched it.
Like, it was like 3 or 4 years
that's
ago.
Serendipitous, my guy.
No, longer than that, yeah.
Is she not thinking of Percy Jackson?
No, I'm positive.
It's like the same quality.
No, I'm very sure.
You sure?
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now, yeah.
The Nostalgia Critic did it?
Let me look up Nostalgia Critic.
Now I'm second guessing.
No, it's all good. I would believe it.
Yeah, he did it in 2017.
Oh.
Yeah, I was right 4 years ago.
Man.
Oh, it was a crossover with some jerk with a camera.
Man, you should have been on the Kick-Ass, Makal action instead of me.
Oh my god.
Can I talk about that? Is that fair to say that?
Let's do Kick-Assia Reanimated.
Kick-Ass
Yes. Oh my god, could you imagine?
I am in.
Could you imagine?
So
We could talk about fan remakes. There's a lot of fan remakes.
Yeah, we can talk about really.
Yeah, anything.
Really, you can take, if you want to say anything on this podcast, you can take it anywhere you want. It could go anywhere as long as you don't go to cannibalism, because apparently that happens on podcast, I guess. So
there was a movie called Raiders: The Adaptation. It was a shot-for-shot remake of Raiders of the Lost Ark that these kids made over like 6 years, I think.
Wow.
Damn.
God bless those
There was a documentary about it, and I never got around to watching it. I've had it on my watch list for a while, but some kids remade Raiders of the Lost Ark in the 80s.
Oh, that's dope.
Wow.
The documentary, The Wolf Pack, or Wolfgang. It's the Wolf Pack, right?
That's a good one to bring up too. They remade a lot of movies.
Yeah, because that's a sad documentary, but it's fascinating.
Now, what's that about?
It's about it's a documentary about basically a father who kind of wanted his own little society, basically. So he had like his wife and his kids in this like apartment, and he would manipulate them into staying and never leaving.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they got a document, like somehow, I don't know how they got this done, but a documentary filmmaker got to go into the house, got to interview the kids. I don't know, maybe the father thought it was going to be a more positive thing for him. Because the father, I guess, allowed it, but it didn't go well for him. But there's like a point where the kids say like they remember there was a year where they only got out twice, a year they only got out once, and a year where they just didn't leave the house even once. And their way of a big part of that documentary, though, is their way of kind of, you know, using their time there, making time fly, is they would watch a ton of movies and remake them shot by shot in the apartment. Like they remade Reservoir Dogs in this apartment.
Holy shit.
I mean, that's terrifying, but also kind of cool that they did it.
No, yeah, that's,
A remake of
that's
it,
incredibly
shot for shot.
sad, but that's incredibly fascinating.
I know this is completely not off topic, but on topic. But when you say recreations, the one thing that comes to mind is like Thumb Wars.
Hold on, what did you say?
It's the Thumb Wars.
Yeah. I'm sorry, my brain just didn't process language for a hot second.
That's just me every day.
From the creator, from the producer of Jimmy Neutron.
Oh my god. That is too funny.
Well, no, like, I remember seeing that on TV, you know?
No, I didn't have TV, so what, like...
Well, I think, like, Cartoon Network was airing, like, the Clone Wars or something, and then, like, before the cartoon, the Clone Wars showed up, like, Thumb Wars popped up, and it was the weirdest whiplash you could have ever gotten. Because it was, like, these... I don't know how to explain Thumb Wars, I'm sorry.
I know exactly what it is.
It's a guy's thumbs with a human face edited onto them.
Oh, I didn't remember that, never mind. Oh.
I vaguely remember this. I do remember this being a thing. I couldn't tell you much about it.
It's the same guy who made Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
Oh my god.
Really?
And, yeah, and in Kung Pao Enter the Fist, you know, he sticks out his tongue and there's the face on his tongue.
Yeah.
It's the same effect that he does in the Thumb Wars movies. He also did one with, like, Frankenstein, and I want to say Titanic?
There was a Titanic?
Oh my god.
Hold on, I'm looking now.
You know what? Forget all these reanimateds. We need to remake Titanic.
Titanic reanimated. Yeah. Yeah, there was one of Titanic, there was one of the 89 Batman, one of Frankenstein, one of the Blair Witch Project, and one of The Godfather.
Okay, I have never seen the Blair Witch Project, but goddamn do I need to see the thumb version of Blair Witch Project. I have so many questions.
So, question for you guys.
Sure,
Two,
yeah.
actually.
Sup?
And Olivia, you may have already given a version of your answer, but if you have something else you want to answer, go ahead.
Okay.
So two questions. First, both of them are very similar, though. First one is, if you had to do a reanimated collab where it was like exclusively animation, it was like nothing big, like an episode of a TV show or a short film, what would you pick? You could pick like an episode, like, you know, there was a Band Geeks reanimated collab. Someone did that really, one of the many creepy episodes of Courage the Cowardly Dog. What's like an episode of something you would just love to do like a remake of?
Shit. So, I love how you ask the two people, one that doesn't watch TV too much and the other one that didn't have TV.
It could be like it could even be a YouTube video if you wanted, like just something small you could give the reanimation treatment.
Okay, so I have an answer, and I don't know if Olivia does, but my answer would be the episode where Plankton switched places with Mr. Krabs.
Oh, hell yeah.
I absolutely, that's one of my favorite episodes of all time, and I just love to see that shit.
Oh my god, that'd be so funny.
I'll give my answer right now. There's two that really come to mind with me. I would love to do a part of The Flood with Little King John, because I think that is a series that is meant for reanimations, because the only thing that is off-putting about that series is the animation. And if you had like a well-animated version of it, I swear to God, people would adore it. And I would love to see, because someone did an animatic of one of the episodes of The Flood, and it was amazing. I talked about it in my video on Rat Boy. It was great. Another one, this is a very typical Michael answer. It would be awesome to see BoJack The View from Halfway Down episode. Honestly, there's so much you could do with that one. It's one of the trippiest episodes of the show. That or the underwater episode. Although actually, I think there is a collab going to do the underwater episode, but it just doesn't have a lot of people working on it yet. But they're trying to get it started.
Ambitiously, I would say I'd love to see a reanimated of the Raisins episode of Clone High.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Because I think that's the best episode of Clone High.
That is a damn good one.
So that would be like ambitious and interesting to see. As far as like hilarious shit posts, I'd love to see a reanimated of either like Rhapsody Street Kids Believe in Santa or The Christmas Tree.
Well, that's like that was going to kind of connect to my second question, where it's like something more feature length. Although, Olivia, do you have an answer?
I do have an answer. It's like I'll probably think of something way better later, but I would love to see someone animate an episode of Gilligan's Island. I love that I love Gilligan's Island, and I just think it would lend itself so well to animation.
Yeah, it probably would.
I think like my favorite, there's an episode that is just really funny. It's where, I don't remember what it's called, but it's an episode where a mad scientist promised to take the Gilligan and his friends off the island, and he takes them back to his castle, but he really just wants to use them for his brain swapping experiments. So all the characters, he swaps all their brains, so their mouths, so like different people's voices are coming out of different people's heads, and they're all acting like each other. And it's just a stupid 60s subplot, but it's damn funny, especially because the mad scientist's assistant Igor swaps bodies with Ginger, the beautiful movie star. So she's just like, so it's this giant muscly dude acting like this extremely feminine man, like an extremely feminine woman, and it's just really damn funny. I know it's outdated humor, but goddamn, do I love that show.
Oh man, I mean, just across the room, I have the Adam West Batman series, the complete series. I'm looking at it right now.
Hell
and I'm
yeah.
like, you could reanimate episodes of this. That'd be funny.
I want the episode with the Batusi reanimated, please. Either that or the episode where he goes, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Isn't that the movie?
Oh, that's the
that
movie.
Might be the movie. Yeah, it is the movie. I'm sorry.
And I think you could do the movie like a remade version of the Batman movie from 1966. I'd watch it. I'd participate in it.
Oh, hell yeah.
The one I was gonna another thing I just wanted to add is you could do like I don't think there's like a single episode of The Simpsons that'd be great for it, but there is like a ton of Treehouse Horror shorts that you could do a reanimated on.
You know which one you could do reanimated? 22 short films from Springfield.
Yeah, that would actually, in terms of not episode, like that's one of the Halloween episodes, that would be the best one actually.
Although then you'd have people like fighting to get the steamed hams segment,
which has already been reanimated.
Please, first come, first serve for the steamed hams.
The War of Steamed Hams.
They should honestly just use the pre-existing steamed hams, collaborate with those guys, saying, "Hey, can we use your reanimation?" Because that was actually a pretty decent reanimated.
That would also solve a lot of problems.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah. The other question is very, very similar. Kind of like now taking more of like a Shrek Retold approach. We have to pick a way larger project, so you bring on animators and people doing live action and people doing shit posts. What would be a really good feature length but good movie to kind of meme on? Because Shrek was perfect for Shrek Retold. That was like the perfect movie to pick for this format where there's a lot of people giving like goofier entries. It doesn't all have to be like beautiful animation. Okay,
cool. I'm gonna cheat and choose 3, but they're all in the same genre.
Okay.
Either The Fatal Fury, the last movie.
Oh, God.
Mortal Kombat's live action movie. or the Street Fighter live action movie.
Oh my god.
They're all
Nice.
video game ones, but I'd love to see some people meme on that shit. Because they're all memeable.
That is
You know,
incredibly memeable.
Personally, I'd like to do Fatal Fury, but no one knows what the hell that is, so I would have to say Mortal Kombat or...
Mortal Kombat would be very easy to meme on.
The animated ones?
The last animated one, yeah. The one with the final technical one. The one where...
I haven't seen any of them, but they are sitting in my YouTube Watch Later playlist.
I can't lie to you, the Fatal Fury, I don't remember the title, but it's the last.
third one,
The
yeah.
third one is really good.
I mean, they're all... Like, Fatal Fury did a pretty good job at that. This is a whole different podcast. But Fatal Fury did a pretty good job. And, I mean, so did most of the animated. But, you know.
Just like bouncing off Shrek Retold, there's a lot of DreamWorks movies you could do that I think would make good retolds. Shark Tale, B-Movie.
I would have no choice. I'd have to do Shark Tale as like our April first thing.
Even like I think even like Madagascar or Megamind could work for like
Those
a
are-
reanimated.
What about Sinbad? Like, that movie didn't get enough love, in my opinion, the first go
I don't
around.
remember Sinbad too much. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Oh my god.
I'd have to rewatch it.
I think you're kind of denying the answer that you know you want to say, and that's the Road to El Dorado.
No, The Road to El Dorado, absolutely.
You know you want to say
That would be awesome.
I love that movie so much. I
You-
love that
Super
movie.
great.
that.
movie.
That movie is a beautiful movie, and I'd love to see.
Are
it
you
retold
kidding? Don't
like
tell
that.
me that. I used to be able to quote that movie front to beginning, including musical numbers. I love that movie.
Oh, I love that
I know.
movie too. I used to watch that like on loop.
Oh my god, it's so good.
I love the freaking songs in it too. Even though it's not really a musical. There's like 5 songs in it spread out, but
They're so good though.
yeah, they are. I like all 5 of them, honestly.
Same. Actually, it's fun. My apparently fun side story. My brother apparently he started getting into D&D 2 years ago, I think, and he told me, he's like, so I got into this D&D campaign. It's Aztec based, and I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. And he's like, so I'm playing as a bard named Mikal, and my friend is a thief named Tulio. And I was like, I'm so proud right now.
We said Batman 66. I think that genuinely would be a good answer.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, that can just carry over.
That'd be perfect.
Also, in terms of stuff like people have some nostalgia for, but also you could like meme on real easily, the SpongeBob movie.
Yeah,
Oh my
hell
god. Yeah. How is that not
Yeah.
already one?
Yeah, honestly, that'd be a really good one. And like, yeah, you could absolutely. I mean, there's literally live action scenes in that movie.
I would love it if someone recreated the David Hasselhoff scene, but it's just a cardboard cutout. It's just like, it's this cardboard cutout wiggling. I'm David Hasselhoff. And it's just,
It's even like Shrek, where you can throw in like musical numbers, like into certain parts of it. Like that's one of the fun parts of Shrek Retold, is like they're remaking the soundtrack. That movie ends on a big musical number. You could have a lot of people like jumping in doing. I mean, even that freaking musical number in the movie has animation style changes. There's like a claymation part in it. There's a live action part in it. There's like real hands playing a guitar.
oh my god.
Yeah, you forgot.
That movie was made for that treatment.
I don't, yeah, it's seriously what, no, I was just, wow, you guys just, all of you kicked the shit out of my suggestion, because
What was your suggestion?
when you first told me this idea, I was like, oh my god, you should reanimate Fantastic Mr. Fox, just
That would be
because
fun.
that
No, that'd be dope.
stilted, like sometimes it's just awkward enough that it'd be really funny. Like, to throw in some live action shit, or like throw in some shit post type stuff.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that though, because I feel like Fantastic Mr. Fox is kind of underrated.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know shit about movies, so I can't say what's underrated and what's not.
It gets a fair amount of love, but I would say that it's like probably one of the best like children's animated films ever made, and it's definitely not treated as one.
I think it gets recognized by like the film buffs who like Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
But
a
Wes
lot of
Anderson gets recognized by every film buff, So that's kind of like that's kind of his advantage. He's not quite like on Tarantino levels where literally everybody knows who he is, but like when it comes to film buffs, every single one of them talks about Wes Anderson. Every single one of them has opinions on his movies, mostly positive.
This might be drifting off topic a bit.
Oh,
but
go for it.
Go drift away.
As a Texan, as someone who lives in Texas, like, we talk about Texan filmmakers a lot, and everyone talks about Richard Linklater, everyone talks about Robert Rodriguez, no one talks about Wes Anderson. Wes Anderson is from Dallas, he is a Texas boy, and just, like, no one ever talks about him as, like, one of the great Texas filmmakers. Probably because he doesn't really make movies in Texas. Like, Linklater and Rodriguez, they're making pictures here in Texas. Wes Anderson is just, like, left the state. He's left, like, the Texas identity completely. But it's like, he's from Dallas. He is a Texas filmmaker.
That's crazy.
Why. That might
Maybe.
be.
Well, no. See, Michigan, we like to praise everybody that came out of Michigan.
Well, what little we have.
Oh,
yeah.
we have a lot more than you think.
Well,
it's
no,
just
that's true.
The problem
Yes,
is
if you
that they're
manage
not
to
good.
get out of Michigan, you get praised.
Hey, you didn't get shot. But no, I didn't know that. I didn't know he was a Texan. That's dope.
Oh yeah, I had no idea. It's like
I mean,
I went for college for film, so all I ever heard was like, oh, Wes Anderson's this great filmmaker. Wes Anderson, this. I never heard that he was just from Texas.
Yeah.
Then again,
Chris and I can meet in the middle on RoboCop, which is set in Detroit but was filmed in Dallas.
Oh shit!
Because they're like, where is a place that looks like Detroit but even shittier? Dallas.
Dallas.
Well, it's funny. I'm going completely off topic with RoboCop. They actually were supposed to put a statue up of RoboCop in the middle of Detroit, and they didn't because they're afraid that people were going to steal it.
Wow.
Now, hear me out. We don't have RoboCop, but for a couple months we had like Bathonet. A statue of Bathonet. That's fine. RoboCop, nah, man. We're afraid somebody's gonna steal that.
We had. Oh my god, yeah, because we had that was the whole video with the I don't know guy.
Yeah.
Outside of the Satanic Temple that put up the statue of Bathonet. Jesus, yeah.
I've got a question that I think will lead into a fun conversation.
What is it?
Please.
All right, so it's back to the remake collabs. It can be a collaborative remake of any movie, and every single well-known director is on it. Like Tarantino has a scene, Wes Anderson has a scene, Edgar Wright has a scene, Paul Thomas Anderson has it's just like the dream project. What movie would you want to see them remake? You might want to go for something like a Stanley Kubrick. I don't know, like one of the big directors who can't do a scene for it, you know? But what do you pick?
Gremlins 2, the new batch.
The new batch?
Gremlins 2, the new batch. It is the greatest movie ever made.
Okay, hold on. So, one, forgive me. We have been neglecting Gremlins 2. Is that actually a good movie? Because every time like we talk about it with people, they go, "Oh God," and that's all they say. They never give us an answer.
It's one of my favorite movies. I am legitimately. I am trying to get a Gremlins 2 tattoo. Like, I am permanently marking my body with this movie.
What are you getting?
Is it gonna be and why is it the female gremlin?
It's Brain Gremlin. But it's I don't know, it's just like, let's fucking shoot in all directions with this one. It's one of the most insane movies you will ever see. There is nothing like Gremlins 2. Because here's the thing. Joe Dante, the director, one of my favorite directors, honestly. I think he puts out pretty consistently good work. Not great work, but good work. They really wanted him to come back for a Gremlins 2, like for a Gremlins sequel. And he's like, I don't know, man. I don't think I could play Gremlins straight 2 times. I don't think there's anything more to say. And they're like, okay, we will give you complete creative freedom if you make Gremlins 2 for us. And he's like, fucking bet I'm gonna make you regret that decision.
This is slowly became the Gremlins 2 podcast.
The Gremlins 2 had me at the word spider gremlin. I need to see this madness for myself. So
It's Joe Dante completely unhinged. It's just like, fuck it, man. It's I can do whatever I want. I am going to make this the most chaotic movie you have ever seen.
Like, real talk, you would think that me and you would see Gremlins because one of our friends, his monologue as an actor, is from Gremlins. Gremlins 2.
No, yeah. It's from Gremlins. Oh, it's from Gremlins 2?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah.
It's the smart one, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
right.
that's his monologue. And Gremlins 2 keeps getting referenced in our life so much, and you would think we'd see it.
We bought it.
We haven't seen. Yeah, we
have
bought it.
it.
We still haven't seen it. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, the question again, Michael. I'm sorry.
Oh, just like it's a movie where every single like one of your favorite directors is on board, and they all make a scene. Which movie do you pick? And Matt, I'll have to watch Gremlins 2. I would like to actually just specifically say like, oh, this director makes this scene, this director makes this scene, but I gotta watch Gremlins 2.
We're gonna do a follow-up. It's Michael, it's you, me, and Chris's homework to go and watch Gremlins 2, and then we're all gonna reconvene.
We'll all come back and talk about Gremlins.
Absolutely. I'll get a tattoo.
But okay, so can I get 2? I'm sorry that I've been.
Yeah, you're so greedy this podcast.
Yeah.
Do it.
Okay, so fuck, man. My serious answer is Treasure Planet.
Oh shit! I love that movie.
Because I would love to see if directors.
If a different director would help.
Yeah. Like, if a different direction would help. That's kind of cheating, though.
I was just, I can't imagine the absolute insanity of unleashing a bunch of directors, like, all on,
It would just be
on Treasure Planet. But
It'd just be a war.
this poor
I'm just
movie.
trying to pick a movie where the style change would be really fun to see.
I also would love to see Turtles 1 or 2. I think Turtles 2 more to have a style change.
Yeah.
Because I love the Turtles movies legitimately, but with the style change, I think Turtles 2 would be a better one.
I think the chaos would work for it.
I will defend the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Oh, there's no need to defend it. I fucking love that movie.
I think it's probably the best adaptation of the Turtles.
Like,
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah. No, without it, we wouldn't have Turtles the way we do today. It's that perfect combination of the Mirage comics and the cartoon.
Yeah.
It, like, fuses it perfectly.
Yeah.
And makes...
Like, it's just edgy enough.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Turtles 1 is beautiful.
Like, let's face it, people, there's something in that ooze that keeps the turtles coming back, and they're always pretty darn good. Except for, like, well, maybe the Michael Bay one.
Yeah.
But even then, they're pretty good.
I would love to head, like, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles project.
Hell
Like,
yes.
whatever it is, I would love to be a part of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles project.
That would be way past cool. Have you been reading? Do you read any of the comics, Matt?
I know. I have some familiarity with the original, like, old stuff. But
Yeah, Mirage. Yeah, the first run.
I gotta say, if you ever get the chance, the newest one, the IDW comics, they are damn good.
They're good up to about, like, 100 and...
Yeah, like honest, you could read anywhere between book 50 and 100 and have a great time.
I have heard the Nick show is pretty good. I want to check that out.
Oh, which one? Rise or,
Just
The
Teenage
2012
Mutant
one.
Ninja Turtles. Yeah.
Yeah,
The CG
that-
one.
Yeah,
That
was
one's
pretty good.
fantastic. I was gonna say Rise is really good, but it's a little bit
Okay, stop
different.
tapping. Cause
Sorry, I can't forget myself. Sorry.
It's okay.
But Rise is pretty good, but it's like a little different if you kind of are like more about that classic Ninja Turtle feel.
Classic 80s cartoon.
Yeah, the 80s cartoon feel. 2012 is the better way to
Anyways,
go. Sorry.
we took over. Michael, what would your choice be?
Kick-Ass, yeah. No, I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm like... because I don't even necessarily want to pick one of my favorite movies. I just want to think of a movie that'd be it would work really well with.
The Simpsons movie.
That'd be like the biggest waste. I love The Simpsons. The movie's mediocre.
You could pick like an anthology movie and then just have like, okay, here we go. The lines here are very clearly drawn, right? Pick something like History of the World Part 1.
I feel like that'd be kind of a waste too, though. It'd be more fun for it to be like a straightforward movie with a single narrative.
Fair enough.
I mean, I think honestly, there's like a lot of like really famous movies that would do the job just fine. Like Pulp. I mean, this one's kind of anthology actually. Now that I think about it, but they're all connected. Like Pulp Fiction would be a fine one. Although then you have Tarantino remaking a scene in his own movie.
They might fuck with that. I don't know.
It might be fun to watch them remake a really, like, a famously shitty movie, too. Like, what if they remade Birdemic?
Oh my god, that would be hilarious.
I would like to see like a remake of The Room made
Yeah,
by like
The Room
That would be
Like,
beautiful.
That would be fun. The Room would be a great one.
Yeah, that would be a good
And then
one.
Tommy Wiseau wouldn't have to have anything to do with it.
Yeah,
So,
perfect.
question. Here's my question.
I haven't given mine yet.
Oh, you haven't. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm sorry. Can you hold your thought? I just.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. No, I was just gonna say. No, I was gonna say. Okay, one in all seriousness that I'd like to see redone, just in general, just because I think it would be a colossal challenge, would be 2001: A Space Odyssey. I want to see a bunch of directors work together to tackle Stanley Kubrick's madness incarnate. But in all shitpostness, I want to see them do AI.
It would be pretty neat because you could have all of these like legendary directors remaking a Dead Legends film.
That's the only that kind of follows up. It's kind of the same. I'm on the same train of thought with AI, but I have a big issue with AI because I just saw it for the first time last year, and I got a big fucking problem with it. And
Well, the problem is, didn't you see that movie when you were pregnant too?
I did. That was emotionally way too rough at that moment in time. And you know what? It's like, I just want to see it because already it was disjointed being like someone, Steven Spielberg trying to be Kubrick. So I will want to see what would happen if a bunch of other directors went and did. And also, it's kind of, this narrative is kind of divided into chunks already naturally. So it would be a good place to just throw a bunch of directors out there and be like, okay, you each get this chunk, you know?
Yeah.
I almost would encourage people to watch AI just because, like, I think it makes for really good discussion.
Absolutely. No,
Okay, so
I totally
hear me
agree.
out. Hear me out. I don't hate AI.
No, yeah, I don't.
You know.
I just didn't need that at that moment in time.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
So
Yeah, I think it's an interesting movie to talk about.
did you ever say what yours was, Matt?
Gremlins 2.
Yeah, I started with Gremlins 2. If I were to give a more serious answer, I'd have to think a little. I would like to see something like really fucking violent. And then just like every director is given like, okay, well, here is like one of the deaths in the movie. You are responsible for this death.
That would be fun.
Okay.
Like, just like, it's rated R, go for it. Go already, go nuts, you know?
Okay, so we're gonna have to wrap this up slightly soon because we're going a little not overtime because we got a lot more time left. But I do want to kind of end off the last question or discussion with, since we have two movie guys here, what is the worst movie you've seen and why? It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be objectively worst. Just personally, the worst film.
Lion King 2019.
Really?
Oh damn!
I really hate that movie.
I'm not disagreeing. I just want to know your thinking.
I to me, it's just like I've seen movies that like really frustrated me. I just recently watched The Last Airbender for me and Matt's podcast, Hollow Victories. And that one really got on my nerves. But there's like...
Shameless plug.
I think with The Last Airbender, it's almost like there's parts of it that make me so angry that I'm at least entertained by my own anger. Like the scene with the frickin' Earthbenders prison camp. That doesn't make any fucking sense what they did at all. And Lion King 2019, it is just like a shot-by-shot remake almost. There's some new stuff in there, but most of it's like a complete remake where every single aspect is worse. And I'm just not convinced that there's a single genuine person on the film. There are talented people involved in the movie, people that I like in other things. Donald Glover's the voice of Simba. I love him on Community. I really, really just couldn't stand watching that. It was just, I felt grossed out watching it. I'm having a hard time justifying it being the worst one because probably objectively there are much worse movies than it, but it's just never a movie made me that angry before. because it was just like every single decision you could have made, you made the wrong fucking one.
I mean, to be fair here, you don't have to just choose one. It's really surprising, not surprising, but it's kind of surprising that you chose that one. I thought you would have given me something, you know.
I think it's really funny actually because I feel you, Michael, because like I remember I'm watching Can You Feel the Love Tonight? I'm in the theater, I'm watching this scene, and it's Donald freaking Glover and Beyonce singing Can You Feel the Love Tonight? And I should be having a major emotional reaction because these are two incredibly talented people, and I have never felt less chemistry in a room. In my entire life. And believe me, I felt some bad chemistry.
Beyonce couldn't even be bothered to show up to the premiere for it because of how much she didn't care about it. They photoshopped her into a cast photo.
Oh my God.
Beautiful. Like someone like posted it saying, hey, it kind of looks like Beyonce's Photoshop. And then Seth Rogen, voice of Pumbaa, liked it. Pretty much fucking like guaranteeing that, although it's also just by looking at it, you can kind of tell it's Photoshopped. It wasn't a great Photoshop, but
that's
and, and honestly, I don't even fucking blame her. I don't. I wouldn't want to be there either.
So, can I ask, is this for nostalgic reasons or just cinematically? It's just
nostalgic reasons are there because I love the original, but it's also just like I've seen other remakes that didn't make me that annoyed watching them. You know.
All right.
I'm trying to what's like. You know, honestly, like even as much as like The Last Airbender annoyed me, it's like, okay, you know what? The sets in that movie are fine. Some of the sets in that movie look really nice, actually. If you had a more competent director working on that, you could keep the sets. I don't think you can even say that about The Lion King. It's all the sets look really fucking ugly in that live action movie. And I, you know, like, I guess the animation, the animals, they look pretty realistic. Yeah. I mean, so again, that's why I can't say it's objectively the worst. I feel like the animators' talents are being wasted though. I think it's like, just let them do something else. This is dreadful. Why are you even calling it the live action Lion King when there's no live action in it? It's just, I don't know. Everything about that movie annoys me. I really hate it. Sorry, I went on a tangent. Go ahead. I'll stop talking.
No, that's the point of the show.
This, I sort of played close to the chest. Like worst movie I've ever seen, I sort of play close to the chest. As far as like movies I've hated the most, I really fucking hate Meet the Spartans. But
that's a good answer. I saw that too.
Yeah, I watched it in like high school and I'm like, wow, I don't think I've ever hated a movie more than this. But if I was being 100% honest, the worst movie I've seen, even just partially because I couldn't finish it because it was so fucking terrible, and that's saying a lot. I've put myself through some really bad shit. The movie I could not fucking stand to finish is a movie from 1991 called Fart the Movie.
What?
It's about a man who loves farting, but his girlfriend hates farting. And so it's like a weird love triangle where he farts and he thinks it's really funny and his girlfriend is just grossed out. And I couldn't finish it. It was so fucking bad.
You know, that sounds like one of those weird Italian movies that they sell at the cave. Like one of those weird Italian porn movies.
Oh my God.
That they sell.
Yeah, no, yeah, this...
Like, because you hear this plot and you go, how is this not a porn?
I would prefer one of those movies.
Well, like, to stay on topic a little bit, it sounds like one of those where it's like this absurd plot and you go, why?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
It's... No, yeah,
like,
remember, because there was this one, I don't remember what it was called anymore, but we were like, okay, what the hell is this about? Because it's like the title was something so vague and so bizarre. We were like, what is this? And it just turned out to be this really, really, if you boil it down, this really humdrum drama, but with porn. So we were like, what the hell? So it's just, but it was just a really bizarre premise.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the poster for it right now. This looks like something that they went into it aware of how fucking horrible it was, but they were hoping that it was going to be so horrible that people were going to be laughing with them. And it just looks like they took it too far. They took it too far, and now everyone's just like, yeah, you made a fucking awful movie. Not like, yeah, you made such an awful movie. It's hilarious. It's just they went too far with their actions.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so can I ask, what was the part that made you Just done. What was the scene that just stopped it for you?
I don't even remember. I was just, at some point, I'm just like, okay, you know what? This is not going to improve anytime soon. We're done here. And it wasn't even that deep in. It was like at most like 30 minutes in. I was just like, nope, this movie is not getting any better. We're done.
So
I'm gonna be honest. I'm impressed you made it that far.
So what would you do if you went back to it and it's the greatest movie you ever saw? Like, just...
What if this was the movie that all the directors remade?
Here's the weird thing. Here's the weird thing that YouTube does for you, to you. If I could make good content out of this, I would revisit the movie.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
You would or wouldn't?
I would. Like, I would make a video about this if it came to that.
I luckily don't have to make a movie about my least favorite movie because there's about to be a 20-hour documentary released about it from fucking YMS.
Oh, wow.
If he ever fucking finishes.
Yeah, he says he's putting it up in parts now, so it'll go up eventually. Part 1 at least.
I'm gonna sound like a bitch in comparison.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing your guys' answers for this.
You gave like legitimate answers, and here's me. So I'm gonna play the 2 game once again. The original Transformers movie for me.
Oh, fuck.
Because now this one only is because of nostalgic reasons. I got to see a re-release as a kid of Transformers, the original movie. The animated one, the giant commercial.
Yeah.
And that shit was dope. It's still one of my favorite movies today. It's not great, but it's, it's fucking dope. So I expected the live action Michael Bay movies to be something good. And I was wrong.
I cannot describe the anger I felt.
And no, and here's the shit, right? Another reason why I hate this movie is because I think it was while Olivia was pregnant, I was trying to, I was convinced myself that these movies were good. So here I am for a series that's no longer being made because I had to reevaluate myself of trying to convince Olivia that each Transformers movie not only is good, but it gets better.
No.
I don't think Chris will ever forget the moment in the first movie when Bumblebee decided to take a piss on someone. And I looked at Chris, and there must have been a visible expression of anger and betrayal because he just shrank into the couch and was like, I swear this movie was better when I remember it being better. And me just being like, I need a fucking minute because Bumblebee
I was so goddamn embarrassed.
And I'm like, and I'm so done right now.
I never saw the first one, but I saw the second one because my brother wanted to go see it in theaters. It is the worst movie I've ever seen in a movie theater. And I saw Grown Ups 2 in theaters.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't hate the first one, but 2 and 3 are some of the most unwatchable shit I have ever sat through.
I would have left if I was old enough to drive. And that would have been my first. I've never walked out of a theater before, but I would have if I could have there. And I've sat through movies I didn't like.
Thanks, guys. You're making me feel better. I feel really good about my relationship choices. Thank you.
It's just because here's the thing. Like the first movie, like that, it was just. It's like it isn't like even.
Like here's
like
the problem: is you're a hardcore Transformers fan too.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
So that's what makes it bad.
Well, no, because here's the second one. Yeah, the second one is absolute dog shit. I just hated that movie especially because that was the movie they played in my band class when the teacher was out, and for whatever reason they couldn't remember where they left off, so I had to keep rewatching it up to the same point, which is the point where I forget his name. It's a little RC car, and he humps Megan Fox's leg, and I just remember being like, "Fuck, I gotta get back to this part again." So
I love how Transformers caused the discussion and also a reevaluation of my relationship. My true answer,
Chris,
though,
we're feeling your pain.
My true answer, though, is King of Fighters, the movie. Never in my life. I mean, video game movies, for some reason, are impossible for people to do. Never in my life have I watched a movie that didn't need to be made, got everything wrong about the game, and yet was made. and it wasn't even a popular movie, you know?
It was just like really, really weird.
Yeah, it didn't even make it to theaters, but I bought it for nostalgia goggles because I'm doing a thing on, video game media isn't that bad in perspective.
That was a doozy to pick for that one.
It's proof that I'm wrong and I'm full of shit because it's not even like, there's nothing good about it. It's a fighting game movie with like maybe 3 fight scenes. The villain himself is nothing like he is in the video game. And it's like, there is no reason for it to be made. There is absolutely no reason for it to be made. No one was like, yeah, I want a King of Fighters movie. Live action, need that shit. You can't even use the excuse that there was a passion. You can't use the excuse that people wanted it. And there's no information really about it either. It was made.
Okay. I gotta say, following up with that, I think this is, for me, one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And this is the only movie I've seriously considered walking out on. And it's not, like, by all technical standpoints, it's not that horrible of a movie, but it's the Assassin's Creed movie.
Ooh.
I hate that movie so much. I remember leaning over to Chris and going, I swear to God, if they show me one more shot of a fucking eagle flying through the air, I'm gonna leave.
She was talking about our relationship, by the way.
Not.
Anyways, that was a date night, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
But I was so mad. And then I'm like, the Animus. Like, I'm thinking, like, the first game, it's like a little weird couch thing that hooks into your brain. And I was like, you can't fuck that up. They fucked it up. It was this weird D-box crane arm thing that hooks into the dude so that he's doing kickflips in the air and being supported.
Tony Hawk level kickflips.
Yeah, but while he's tweaking out in his ancestor-induced trance or whatever, and I'm just sitting there like, how did you fuck this up?
That's another one of those movies where they don't, they don't give you what you want from the franchise.
No, yeah, definitely not. It's also ugly as shit. Like, let's just put it out there. There's a color filter over the whole damn movie, so it's just gray and dull as shit. And Assassin's Creed didn't have a lot to offer to begin with.
Okay, can I be fair here with you? I thought you were going to choose Wonder Woman 1989.
1984 is...
84?
It's 19... Is it
84?
Yeah.
I thought it was 89. It is 84.
Yeah, it's not...
Oh, shit. Is it 84?
Yeah, it's not that... It's not
Holy
that...
shit,
Here's the thing.
this.
As a movie, it's not that offensive. Like, I can be mad about it, but I'll forget about it until next time someone brings it up. It's not like it sits there...
That's not how you were reacting to it.
Yeah, no, it's not like it sits there like a burden weight on my soul, like fucking Assassin's Creed, because this wasn't hard to fuck up, but yet they did.
Yeah, it is 84. We can get it in 4K.
I don't want it in 4K.
You sure?
Yes.
I saw the Assassin's Creed movie in theaters. I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was the worst video game adaptation, but I'm still like, wow, this is amazingly underwhelming.
I will give them this. At least they kind of got the lore right. Like, they kind of tried, but I think that's what irritates me more.
Well, the thing that irritates you is that, like, if you looked at the scripts prior, it was going to be, like, based off of Black Flag or, actually based off a game. And then and also there was, like, once again, this is another one of where you liked the material. Mm-hmm. So you expected...
it's like, well, to me, it's like, okay, I don't know. To me, it just didn't seem like it was a hard enough concept to fuck up. You know what I mean? But video game movies are always that way. You feel like, they can't possibly fuck this up, and then they find a way.
Yeah.
I think there was another movie I had that was like, I also was going to complain about as the worst movie I've seen, but this is, now I'm just on my Assassin's Creed tangent, so I'm just going to leave it alone, because now I'm pissed off again.
We're all getting angry tonight.
Yeah. We are about to wrap up unless you guys have something else you want to add.
I've got one more Reanimated project I just wanted to give a quick shout out to because I think it's a good idea for a Reanimated, and the progress on it so far. Got a bunch of clips uploaded to YouTube are looking really nice so far. Someone is making a South Park Reanimated, which I actually think is a really good idea since the animation is so simple that you can
brilliant.
It's kind of perfect for it because there's no specific way you have to draw the characters. The designs are so simple, you can get really creative with it, and the entries that I'm looking, like there's a playlist of all the ones that are done, or at least the ones that were uploaded to YouTube, and a lot of them look really nice. It's been a slow progress, but every single time I look at the playlist, it's been over the course of like the last 2 years, but there are new entries every time I look.
That's awesome. Is it like reanimating the show, or is it like the movie or something?
An episode of the show. It's the episode called The List, which honestly, it wouldn't have been my first pick, but it's not a bad pick because it has like every single character in it. It has all of like the kids in it, so it's kind of, I don't know, from what I'm seeing, it gives there's a lot of solid moments to remake from that one.
All right, hell yeah.
Saberspark is working on like this horrible Moses cartoon that they're doing a reanimated of that.
No.
I'd have to look up what it's called, but I will give a shout out to dear Mr. Saberspark for all of the views he has sent to my channel.
Hell yeah.
That's dope.
That's awesome.
So, it's time to wrap it up. It's time for us to kick you guys off the couch so you guys can go home. But before we kick you off the couch...
I'm sleeping on this couch. Sorry.
But before we kick you off the couch, what are you guys working on? If you are, if not, whatever, just say what your most recent project or your favorite project was that you did. And, after that, we'll close out. Is that cool?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know which one. I'll go first.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So Makal and Zach / Makal and Friends, because Zach isn't in all of them anymore. That is my main YouTube project at this point, basically. I normally put out an episode every month. Sometimes it's like, oh, maybe there'll be 2 months without them, but then like more than one will go up. This year I've been pretty consistent with at least doing one a month. And then aside from that, I'm actually working on a project with Chris, Matt, and Mitzi, and Olivia on occasion. It's kind of just like whenever people are available, but it's more of like a comic. I don't know if it'll be a comic or if it'll be like an animatic. I have no idea. I'm still like figuring that part out, but maybe webcomic that can have like animated bits. I don't know. Like Homestuck.
The next Homestuck.
Yeah, the next Homestuck. I just gotta figure, a lot of this is a learning experience too, so it's probably going to be a flawed first project, but I'm still excited for it.
Right now, I am working on a video where I review things my mom wouldn't let me watch as a kid.
Hell yeah.
Dope.
Because my mom was very strict, very conservative, so there was a lot of stuff that I just wasn't allowed to watch when I was young, and so now I'm going back and taking a look at some of it.
I think that could be a very fun trend, kind of like the childhood trauma one, honestly, because I feel like there's a lot of people would have like material for that. Even I've got a few things. My parents were not like too strict about that, but there were shows I wasn't allowed to watch.
So, mine was strict enough. The older I got, the less. So yeah, it'd be pretty dope to see that.
It's not even that my parents were strict. I just self-policed. I was lame.
I wasn't allowed to watch South Park and Family Guy, but even The Simpsons was okay.
Man, I remember, like, I would see South Park as my dad was changing channels, and I'd be like, Dad, look, cartoons, let's watch cartoons. And he's like, no, that's not appropriate for you. And this is when I was, like, 4 or 5. I'd be like, ooh, let's watch South Park. And he's like, no, because it's a cartoon.
I watched it anyways, but if I got caught, my parents would legitimately say, turn that off right now. My dad liked South Park, but he didn't want me to watch it until I was 13. My mom hates South Park. But we're dragging this on. Sorry, Chris.
No, it is all good. That's what this podcast is about. Thank you.
Fun.
Thank you very much for joining us on the couch and, sticking with this theme that I'm going to probably forget about in episode 2.
Yeah. So, thanks for listening, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe and go show some love to Matt and Michael. We'll see you guys next time here on the couch on Couch Co-op.
Couch.
Couch.